They won the rebounding battle by 8, and that's been a good omen for them in this series. And something we've talked about, right? They're crashing the glass. They're just getting so many more opportunities than the Warriors. They shot 16 more free throws than the Warriors did, but they had 12 more turnovers. They had 18. The Warriors only had 6. And the Celtics, despite having more rebounds, shot the ball 13 less times than what the Warriors did. And that's ultimately what did them in, because they beat the Warriors from the three-point line too. So they won the three-point line, they won the free throw line, and they won the rebounding battle. And Steph shot 7 to 22 and didn't hit a three. And if you were going to tell a Celtics fan, or an NBA fan for that matter, any of that before Game 5, especially all of that, you would have said the Celtics were going to win in a blowout. But they turned the ball over so many times, and what that shows me is the Warriors, of course, they took care of the ball, but they were able to get a lot of those turnovers to be points directly for them, because the Celtics have 12 more turnovers and the Warriors have 13 more shots than what the Celtics did, which eventually is, what decided this game. If you were looking at the box score, where the Celtics are 31 to 75 and the Warriors are 41 of 88, that's not even such a massive difference in the percentage, Warriors by 5%, but just in the number of shot attempts. And it's not, again, because they were dominating the glass or anything. They only had 4 offensive rebounds. It's just they were able to get the ball on those turnovers. Of course, shooting less free throws helps you shoot more shots, because you're saying eventually, if the Celtics are getting to the foul line, those are shots that just aren't being counted as shots because they're going to the foul line. But I don't know, man. I just think if the Celtics were going to win a game, this was the type of game that they needed to win. It's just that the rest of the Warriors stepped up, and Andrew Wiggins had this huge game, but even he was 0-6 from 3. He just seemed like he couldn't miss from anywhere else. And then you had Klay Thompson. I think he was the only Warriors starter that hit a three-pointer, and the Warriors were 9 of 40 from 3, and Klay himself hit 5 of them. So they were able to get those contributions from those ancillary players. And if you're the Celtics, I think it's the kind of box score minus the turnovers that you want. And that's why I think this loss feels maybe a little bit more debilitating than other Game 5 2-2 losses, at least that I've seen.
Oh, no, you are dead on the money. And you're missing one part. You tickled it. But the turnovers, yes. The missed free throws. The number of missed free throws by the Boston Celtics in last night's game is an absolute killer, because those can be momentum builders, momentum stallers, and it depends on how you do them. Well, when Jason Tatum gets fouled and goes to the line and misses both free throws, when Jaylen Brown makes 1 of 2, when you continuously are forcing the action like you're supposed to, but you're not getting the reward for it, you're killing yourself there. Yes, the Warriors did to the Celtics a little bit of what the Celtics did to the Warriors in Game 1, where their main star didn't have a great game, but all these other guys did. Now, with the Warriors, they also had other stars that really stepped up and did it. Klay Thompson getting 21 points was a big 21 points for them. Andrew Wiggins leading the team in points and rebounds and getting his first ever back-to-back double-double for Andrew Wiggins' career. And he does it in Game 4 and Game 5 of the NBA Finals. You are stepping up when it matters the most. But the Warriors got that help a la the way the Celtics did in Game 1, just with a different level of talent that was doing it. Guys that you expect to be around that. We expect Klay Thompson to be around 20 points. Even in this injured coming back frame, we figure it's somewhere between 17 and 23 points, I would think. With Andrew Wiggins, we've seen what he can be, so you're going to expect him to be around those 20 points. And with him being locked in defensively and now locked in with the dirt work of getting rebounds as well, he's just risen up to another level. But with Steph not having the game he had, you still had a real shot to win this game, and the turnovers killed you, absolutely. But the missed free throws were just you stabbing yourself while they're stabbing you. You just took a knife and decided to join in, because you just had all these opportunities to put points on the board and stay closer in this game. But you had a chance to stay in this game better and get to a situation where you might be able to steal some momentum and hit a big 3, and now it's a 2-point game. But you missed all these free throws, so that even if you hit a big 3, it's still a 9-point game. It's still a 3-possession game. You're not in that striking distance yet. You hurt yourself so much by doing that along with the turnovers, we've talked about this. They don't have a real ball handler. Marcus Smart is not a real ball handler. He's probably the best they got besides Derek White, who played 21 minutes and gave you pretty much nothing in this last game, which was surprising with how much he's given the playoffs this year in general. He was, but he's been so good. Like, he's been so good, and he was so surprisingly bad in Game 5. And then you got, like you said, great, 14 points in 14 minutes from Poole, 15 points from Gary Payton. So they got the help they needed to make Steph's life easier, and it looked like a runaway for the longest time, 16-point lead, and then it got back to a 16-point lead with a minute and a half to go. But the Celtics absolutely played their part of their own downfall in this game, and it was sad to watch.
I mean, to your point, you can't always, I guess, judge a box score by this. But the Celtics lost by 10, and they missed 10 free throws. They're 21 to 31 on the line, and if you hit all those, it's of course a tie game. But if you hit those during the course of the game flow is obviously a little bit different.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?